Main and subordinate clauses. Consider these sentences. 1. Daisy went to the market. 2. Daisy went to the market and bought some clothes. 3. Daisy went to the market where she bought some clothes. In sentence 1, Daisy is the subject and went to the market is the predicate. The sentence has only one finite verb went. Thus, this is a simple sentence made up of only one independent or main clause. Sentence 2 can be written as two independent sentences. Daisy went to the market. Main clause. Daisy bought some clothes. Main clause. Subject. Predicate. Here, both clauses stand alone and are main clauses. The sentence has these two main clauses joined by the coordinating conjunction and. Thus, this is a compound sentence. In sentence 3, Daisy went to the market is the main clause, while where she bought some clothes does not stand alone to make complete sense. It needs and depends on the main clause to form a sentence having complete sense. So, it is a subordinate clause. Hence, this is a complex sentence having a main clause and a dependent or subordinate clause joined by the subordinating conjunction where. Definition. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. It may form part of a sentence, or it may be a complete sentence in itself. Main clause. Every sentence contains at least one main clause, also called an independent clause. A main clause may form part of a compound sentence or a complex sentence, but it also makes sense on its own. For example, he was eating a sandwich. Main clause in a simple sentence. He was eating a sandwich when the boss called him. Complex sentence. Main clause. Subordinate clause. Sentences with main clauses. Main clauses, when linked by conjunctions, such as and, but, or, and so, form compound sentences. I like to eat fruit and have a small orchard of my own. Main clause. Cons. Main clause. Keep in mind, you must have at least one main clause in every sentence. A main clause is the essential component. Without a main clause, a group of words is a fragment, a major error in writing. Quick tip. Do not confuse a main clause with a subordinate clause. When you place a subordinating conjunction like because, when, though, that, as, etc. in front of a subject and verb, you will no longer have a complete thought. The group of words becomes a subordinate clause, like these examples. When you admit your mistake. When dusk fell. Subordinate clause. A subordinate clause, also called dependent clause, depends on a main clause for its meaning. Together with a main clause, a subordinate clause forms part of a complex sentence. For example, Gandhiji marched from Sabarmati to Dandi. Main clause. Where he broke the salt law. Subordinate clause. When we educate a woman. Subordinate clause. We educate an entire family. Main clause. A subordinate clause begins with a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun. It contains both a subject and a predicate. This combination of words does not though form a complete sentence, it instead makes a reader want additional information to comprehend the thought. There are three kinds of subordinate clauses. Noun clause. A clause which acts as a noun or which is used in place of a noun is called a noun clause. To identify the noun clause, a question is formed by adding what to the main verb and the clause in which we get its answer is the noun clause. For example, the teacher asked me if I had any problems. Noun clause. He told me that he was feeling better. Keep in mind, a noun clause can be subject of a verb. Example. What matters is our good behavior. That we should go to bed early is a good habit. Object of a transitive verb. Example. I know that I am right. Do you know why he is absent? The complement of verb. Example. It appears that he is poor. This is where I want to go. Adjective clause. In a sentence, an adjective clause acts as an adjective, that is, it describes a noun or a pronoun of any other clause. These clauses start with relative pronouns or relative adverbs. For example, all the poems which he recited at the meeting were self-composed. Adjective clause. She is the girl who met me yesterday. Adverb clause. An adverb clause is that subordinate clause which modifies the verb, adjective or adverb coming in any other clause. For example, Kunal kept walking until he reached the main crossing. Adverb clause. The wind blows where it likes. Here is a list of subordinating conjunctions. After, if, so that, unless, whereas, although, lest, than, until, wherever, as, whence, that, when, whether, because, once, though, whenever, while, before, since, till, where, why. Here is a list of relative pronouns. That, whichever, whoever, whose, whomever, which, who, whom, whosoever. Correctly attach a subordinate clause to a main clause. When you attach a subordinate clause in front of a main clause, use a comma, like this. Although I sleep late. Subordinate clause. I get up by 7 in the morning. Main clause. When you attach a subordinate clause at the end of a main clause, you will generally use no punctuation, like this. He finally received the letter. Main clause. Which he had been expecting for weeks. Subordinate clause.